So this is the roasted chicken method for YouTube. I'll show you exactly how we make it in the restaurants. I know you guys like my chickens. We got 3 great chicken dishes. We sell a ton of them. I love chicken. I love a good chicken dish. I love mashed potatoes with chicken. I love having greens with chicken, you know. Probably my favorite chicken is the one at supper with the chicken, basically arista. We do it arista style with fennel seed, black pepper, and salt crust on the chicken, and whole roasted cloves of garlic. It's amazing. Okay, with mashed potatoes and sugo. The sugo at supper is probably the best sugo we make. So you gotta try it. But anyway, this is the exact same way that we cook the chicken at all 3 places. The only thing that's different is the sauce and the presentation. But this is the chicken method, exactly the way we make chicken. Now, I don't really need to marinate this chicken because I'm going to be cooking it right away for you guys. But I'm going to show you the marinade method. So like I said, I would suggest leaving it in a marinade at least for 3, even 4 days before roasting it to impart flavor into it and complexity into the meat, where you won't need much else as far as herbs and spices because the marinade itself will be present in the final product. So your sauce can be really clean, just the flavor of the chicken and maybe some carrots, onions, and celery. Whereas the chicken itself, spices and herbs into the marinade will come from the marinade right into the pan you're searing the chicken in, and that flavor will translate into the entire dish from the marinade right to the final product. Okay, so it's not just like you're gonna get the marinade off of it. You're leaving some of the marinade on of it. That's the whole point. The marinade is on it and soaked into it. So you roast the chicken, and when you eat just even a plain piece of roast chicken, you're getting all that flavor from the marinade. Okay? So you only need maybe olive oil, maybe a little bit of lemon, and that's it. Or, like I said, a nice drizzle of pure chicken sugo. And I think that that's the best thing to have with it because it's chicken on top of chicken in more intensity. It's like turbocharging the roast itself. It's like extracting the juice of the meat from the roast itself and being able to concentrate it and pour it right on top. Because that's exactly what you're doing. It's all the same bird. All right, roasted chicken method. Let's talk for a minute here. Let's think about this, okay? Just like with the turkey method, my turkey method, you can see it on Instagram. Actually, the spoken turkey method, I didn't post the whole thing. You can see it on Instagram, okay, is that the breast and the leg take wildly different times to cook perfectly. We're talking about perfectly here, okay? You can undercook a chicken leg and it's still cooked, but it's not concentrated. It's not like, braised almost in the oven, which is really what we're doing with the chicken legs, is that the skin traps everything in moisture-wise, and we go high to begin to get some good color on it, and then we go low and slow and let it cook until it's falling off the bone. Okay, that's what you want from a chicken leg. You want to have nothing but clean bones after you finish eating it. You want concentration of all that gelatin. So you want slow cooking, okay? Whereas the breast is wildly different. The breast has to be always perfectly cooked like medium well, basically. Legally up to 140 degrees, but if you have a really great, chicken product, okay, you can worry a little less about salmonella on it, but, you still got to be careful. Anyway, so, but the point is you can have a very juicy chicken breast, okay, and still be safe, especially if it's a fresh chicken breast, all right, and you roast it properly. So I'm going to show you right now. It takes a lot less time than the leg. So you can't fire them together. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fire the chicken legs and get them going, the legs and the wings. We're going to fire both and get them going inside the oven. Give us a head start. And then when that's like literally done, when we're satisfied with the cooking on that, then we'll fire the breast. Here we have the chicken that we marinated. Over here the mashed potatoes are going. I'm just going to check on them. They're still a little bit too hard. little more time. In the meantime, let's get these wings and legs seasoned well, and let's get them seared off. Okay, you see we're leaving a lot of this marinade on here. We're gonna take some of this stuff like that. I'm gonna use a strainer obviously for this, but you get the idea. We're gonna take that and we're gonna make sure it's on top of this when we sear it off. It's the whole point of the marinade. The marinade is gonna be involved in the dish. Okay. So let's just get it going here. There you go. Perfect. You see, it's pretty evenly distributed now. We can pick it up a little bit. Now we get some salt on it. The pan has been getting hot for quite some time. I'm gonna crank it up a bit and get it really hot, because that's a lot of chicken. And when all that chicken hits that pan, it's gonna cool it down quite a bit. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get some salt on there. So let's get it salted. Salt and pepper. I'm gonna heavily salt one side and lightly salt the other. Now let's get the pepper. Nice and coarse and fine. Combination of both. Now the fine. Get both sides. And boom, zing. Both sides, salt and pepper. Now I'm just going to turn the heat up a little bit to help the pan to catch up. Up to high. Form the crust first. Right now the chicken is completely stuck to the pan. Once the crust forms, it releases quite easily. You'll see. Now you see it's a little too fast. Now I got to lower it back down again. Now I'm going to put it back to low. Because now it's perfect. Getting good color. Take a peek. Go a little longer. Feel it. If you touch too much fat, pull some out. Flip the sucker over. Drop it down into the oven. Forget about it. Let it cook. I put it down into a 325 degree oven. Okay. And I'm just gonna let it go. Take its time, you know? You can even do 300, you can do 275 as well. If you wanna limit the color and you wanna really steam it inside its own skin. I find that like 325, 350 is great. You can start at 375 just to make sure you keep it going and then maybe drop it down a little bit. But again, while your oven's calibrated, because mine's calibrated, and believe me, ovens fluctuate up to 50 to 75 degrees either way from miscalibration, from being old and banged up, and you need to get used to that. You need to gauge your oven. Okay, so you should do that as soon as possible. Throw a thermometer in there and see what you're running. All right. Now let's pull out the breasts, get some pepper on them. Make sure we fix the skin properly. Like that. Skin got a little bit wrecked, but it's still gonna be nice. Yeah. Some black pepper on these chicken breasts. Wait on the salt. So right before we're gonna fire. Alright, so we got a preheated pan. It's been sitting here on this fire for quite a while. It's nice and hot. We're gonna get some salt on both sides of these chicken breasts. And boom, zing. We got a good flavor on both sides. I already put pepper, and we're ready to go. Let's do it. Slow it down. Some nice smokiness in there. Nice tight cover helps. Let's take a look. Okay, I'm gonna go right down into the oven. As soon as we get color, boom, finish it in the oven. Right down in the oven, bang, boom, zing. All right, let's look at the legs. Let's check the breast. Still very raw, but the legs are red. Here they are. Keep cooking it. Look at all that baked on drippings. Oof. Amazing. Amazing. It'll fall right off the bone. Look at these beautiful crisp legs and wings. See that? Crispy, crispy, crispy. Okay. Keep this warm over here, and we're gonna take most of the fat out of this pan and keep just the fond. That's what that is. That's all baked on drippings. That's incredible flavor right there. Sick flavor. So the oil should just come right off the top, and it pretty much does. You see? You want to try to avoid getting the brown stuff in there because that's all pure flavor. But we want to get rid of some of the fat. There we go. Perfect. We can keep some of the fat. That fat is chicken fat and extra virgin olive oil. So it's some good shit. Okay. We're gonna go over here now, and we're gonna add in our sugo cubes. Sugo cubes. Boom. I'm gonna need my other hand for this, guys. There we go. Heavy duty sugo.
A man walks down the street.
See? We're gonna reduce it down to a glaze. We're gonna need the burner for this because I want to go fast. I don't have enough time to wait. Right here on the burner.
He walks with madness. He walks with madness.
Reduce, reduce, reduce. Right down to a glaze.
He walks with madness.
Incredible flavor here.
Do you walk with methods?
All right, let's check that. Those chicken breasts. They should be close. You feel them. Still a little raw. See, a little bit too bouncy. Not quite there yet. Close.
Man walks down.
You can see all the rosemary in there. There's garlic in there. Everything from the marinade. All the baked on drippings and sugo.
Man's got mad.
Pretty amazing flavor.
Down the street, walking madness. Flow, man.
Now I'm going to throw these
One way to get it. Flow comes from within.
chicken wings into this. Push this bolognese over a little bit. Start with these These are still hot, just came out of the oven. You can hear that crunching, see? And these we're gonna glaze it. And then pour all this sauce right on top. Okay, let's check the chicken again. I think we're there. Yep. So now I'm gonna pull them out, flip them over. Flip them over. Look how beautiful that is. Amazing. Perfectly cooked. Yeah. Keep glazing this. You can see how these wings are like almost falling apart. See how it turns, see how the sugo gets so intense? See? Here we go. Yeah. This chicken's perfectly cooked. Where's the rest? Chicken breast. 2 perfect chicken breasts. Let's just take a look here for temperature so you can see how perfect it's cooked. Perfect medium well. Juicy as fuck. See how juicy it is, look. Yeah. Juicy chicken, you say? Super juicy. Now we're gonna go back over here. I'm gonna put just a touch of brodo here. A little bit of that. And it's ready. Put the chicken wings on top. The sugo, mashed potatoes, roasted chicken, and gravy. Of course, I'm going to get a rubber spatula and get all that gravy in there right now. Zip away. Look. It's all jelly. See how it glazes the chicken? Look at that. Ridiculous. Oh, wow. Wow.
Man walks down the street.
Here I am still dipping. Now I'm going to dip
On the right side
right
of the
here
street.
in the mashed potato and the gravy, which is basically what's going on this plate. Look at this. Oh.
With magnets. He walks with magnets.
And of course, I'm not going to waste any of that leftover sugo there. I'm going to get it right into this.
He walks with magnets.
Right into this brodo I'm making, because that's all pure flavor and gelatin. Can't waste that.
I can walk with. Did you walk with magnets?
Agitate it.
Man walks
Get
down the
myself a
street.
rubber spatula and work it all right in the broth. Don't lose any of this flavor. Brother, that'd be crazy to lose this stuff. Throw this shit away, I'll break your legs for sure. Look at all the liquid that came out of the chicken as it sat. Amazing. Look at all this gravy. Unfucking believable. You don't lose your fucking mind with this. Amazing. Unbelievable flavors. Lucky child there.
It is.
It's a lot of chicken for you there, boss. These are the wings. That's the breast, and these are the legs. All right?
Interesting.
Gotta have
Yeah.
flow.
So which one you want?
Long way to get flow.
I will choose the wing of course.
There are 2 wings. Okay. See? And they're beautifully cooked. Open it up. Yeah, break it apart.
Okay, hold on. Fix mine.
Write down the steps of every method.
So it comes right off the bone, right? You see?
I
See? Perfect. Perfect. Let me see the meat. Show me. You see? It comes right off the bone, right?
Forget about time. Don't pull watches.
Beautiful. Let me see this. Let me see the bones. See? Nothing on the bones. That's what you're looking for.
Connect yourself.
So, you see what I'm talking about here? If you cook the chicken whole, you cook a turkey whole, you can't get the wings like that. Okay? You can't do it. By the time the wings are like that, the breast will be so freaking overcooked, it won't even be recognizable. Okay? You know, the legs and the wings take a long time. You gotta do it separately. You gotta pull it off the bone, right? Separate. You gotta do it separately. Okay? So you can control both. You see how perfect those chicken breasts were? Okay? How perfectly cooked the wings were. How perfectly cooked those legs are the same. Just like that chicken, just like the chicken wing you saw. When we eat that leg, it's gonna just be falling right off the bone. Amazing.
You could literally make the best Super Bowl Sunday wings in the world.
I do. I make Uncle Joe's wings at Little Frankie's, and you've had them.
But we're always here, and where are the wings at? This Super Bowl, I expect some wings.
All right,
A platter.
I'll make it happen.
Can you flow with methods?
So roasted chicken method, extra virgin olive oil in the marinade. Okay, that's what we use to fry it. So extra virgin olive oil in the marinade. That's what we use to fry. Can you get the door, please? I don't know. So extra virgin olive oil in the marinade. That's what we need to fry it. Okay, and we just use the marinade, you know, to fry the chicken. It comes out perfect. Okay, you saw how we did it. You got any questions? Hit me up. Super simple. And it's basically just like the seared fish method. All right, except we're using the marinade as the fat, as the olive oil. And as soon as we get color on the breast, and the breast is just perfectly cooked, we pull it out, flip it over, and let it rest on the open side, the side without the skin. Okay, and as it's resting, it comes to the perfect temperature. You pull it out after you feel slight resistance to the touch. Okay, in the beginning it's kind of bouncy, and then all of a sudden it gets firm. Okay, when it's firm, it's perfect. All right, the legs you just let them go. Don't worry about it. You can't really screw that up. You saw I add some liquid to it. I had a low temperature. I was like at around 325 degrees, and I let the legs go and I let the wings go until they were literally falling off the bone. And then that's the pan that we made the sauce in, because all the baked on drippings were in there. All the juice that came out of the wings and came out of the legs, that's all jelly, that's all gelatin. It's all incredible flavor. Okay, so we took that and we fortified it with sugo. We could have just added brodo to that and brought that down, and it would have been a great gravy too. But when you put the sugo in, it just tastes to a whole different level. And it's amazing with the potatoes.